Namaste. Welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek Govekar. So this is episode 31, and today I thought I'd think about or talk about a couple of different things related to religion. As you have seen from the videos that I've been making, I speak about different religions. I speak about different religious practices. So the question then happens, well, what religion do you belong to? That's like asking God what his religion is, or asking Jesus or Buddha, is Jesus a Christian? Or is Buddha a Buddhist? You know, actually, this question is not really very important to the person that is undergoing an awakening. The religion that forms afterwards, or the teachings of that guru, master, teacher, awakened person, become the basis for a set of ideas, a set of practices that are followed, and eventually it takes the name of that person or that school of thought. The person himself he has found the truth, or she has found the truth. So, the underlying truth behind all religions, all established monotheistic religions, can be understood after an awakening, is one way of putting it. The other way of putting it is, you are after truth, you're a seeker, and if you're looking for truth, there's a very small chance that all of that truth can be found in one religious tradition. By the simple fact that there have been traditions, and each religion has been tradition bound, and at different times in history, each religion has been a political structure. So naturally, things related to the politics, things related to the social structure, what's a taboo, what's a do and a don't, all creep into so called religious practices. At the very basic, a spiritual awakening, a religious awakening, and anybody that seeks to show you the reality within, the truth within, who's taking you on that course or giving you some form of guidance towards that falls outside of religion, but it includes all religions. So, an awakened person is no religion or all religions. Obviously, I grew up in a Hindu family and I went to Catholic school. So, those two have been have had an effect on me for a long time, have been part of my um, life for a long time. So, I gravitate towards those two, and I try to find truth from every other tradition that kind of helps me put together these practices or do some practices on my own. But the question about what religion should you follow after an awakening is really a moot point. You don't have to follow any religion, or you can pick and choose from every religion, and everyone can do that. People that may have been born in a Christian family living in the United States who just picks up yoga and meditation. Nothing wrong with that. Someone born in a Christian environment who chooses to use the Christian form of meditation, which is contemplation on a passage from the Bible. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so any religion that you're a part of can be made into a practice of seeking the truth within. And you can find methods in each one of those religions. So if you feel hesitant to let go of what your practices are, well, you don't need to. And if you feel hesitant to pick up some new spiritual practices when you didn't have to or didn't desire that, you don't need to do that either. All the things that I've mentioned, yoga, meditation, breath practices, understand that these are all for the human body, and the human physiology is born without any religion. What I am trying to get people on, the path I'm trying to get people on, is going to have a direct impact on you. Are you going to have a Kundalini awakening? For sure? No. I'm not guaranteeing that. What I'm saying is, anyone can put these practices into their day to day exercise regimen, because it's ultimately like an oil change. Meditation is like an oil change for your brain, which is like a motor. And it's been running around with all that junk in there, all that clutter, and it's not working at the best capacity. So, the meditation practice is going to help you with that period without any religious baggage associated with it. Yoga is like any other form of stretching. Now, I also advocate in all of my videos the emphasis on these religious practices in your behavior. But that is just chastity and celibacy and being good to others and having a good moral behavior. Again, every single religion talks about that. You don't have to do it in a specific way. People who awaken themselves sometimes choose something that they gravitate to. They feel that pull towards that particular form of practice and they choose that because that's their individual dharma. And they have decided to now pursue that because it's keeping them on the path that they want to be on. And the religion that they were born into may not do that for them. So, not only is it not religion specific, you can pick and choose religions. It's based on the practices and how they affect the individual, the person. In many ways, religious practice these days has been taken out of the realm of the individual. You're at the mercy of a guru, a priest, a higher religious figure that's going to guide you. Okay? And that's fine as well. So you can ask your religious person, hey, is meditation okay for me? Can I do that and still remain part of this religious faith? Or you can employ religion and see how it makes you a better religious person, how you can employ meditation and it can make you a better religious person for whatever religion you follow. But more important, and this is what I would like you to notice, is how your day to day interactions are changed because of meditation. How you now interact with the world, survive in this world, do your day to day activities, and how much better that experience gets over time. Ultimately, if it doesn't help you, the person, the individual practicing these methods, then it has failed. The major difference I would make between religious practices and practices towards a Kundalini awakening are that they are geared towards specific results. May not be the final ultimate endpoint, which is the awakening of the Kundalini, but it could be a more peaceful state of mind, a healthier body, a better way of dealing with conflict in life, a day to day reevaluation of your relationships and the quality of those relationships and interactions that you have in life. So, all of these things are the emphasis and not just this religion versus that or which is better. Those things are irrelevant. Regardless of what religion you were born into, just like your name and place that you were born into, you don't have much of a control in all of those things. What you do have control of is your own actions, the actions that you undertake on a regular basis, whether you choose to meditate, whether you choose to eat healthy. If a religion or a religious practice has a lot of don'ts in it, don't do this, this is taboo. If you read from any other scripture, that's bad. Likelihood of that religion satisfying you personally at a deeper emotional, personal, spiritual level are low. We don't live in the 19th century. So if you have a preacher who is preaching things from the 19th century, and I'm not specifying any particular religion, but you're feeling empty inside, you're sitting in the audience and you're sitting feeling, nah, this doesn't work. But you go along with everything, you go along with everyone and follow it as a social practice. Now, even in that case, most people, religion performs a need in their life. Unless there is some kind of a calamity or some kind of a problem that they're in, the praying is just at a minimum and not done with much attention to it. Just the nature of how things are, how people are. This method, however, if you start Ashtanga yoga, if you start meditation, if you start breath control and yoga postures and something related to an overhauling of your entire persona, your system, chances are you're going to benefit from it in every aspect of life and not just the religious aspect of life. So, even though the questions are related to religion, the answers are something like after you join a gym and like 6 months from now, you feel like, wow, I feel so good now. I feel healthy. I start my day with a nice smoothie and I work out and I feel like I'm in good shape, right? Similarly, these spiritual practices should end up giving you the feeling of bliss, of having a burden lifted from you. If you don't feel that, then one religion is not any better than the other. And that's been my attempt throughout these videos as well as the blog posts that I write, is to make people aware that a specific kind of person is going to be watching these videos. So I want to make those people aware that, hey, I understand that you're either a seeker or you have had an accidental awakening or you're interested in subjects related to Kundalini. And the questions you might have are related to whether this should be an entire system that you transform into. And my question is no, you don't have to. You can keep your outward life exactly the same. Attend the same spiritual mass or practices or methods and rituals as you did in the past. But now you're making room for yourself, for in your day, for some meditation, for some yoga practices. You change your attitude towards what kind of food you eat, what kind of people you socialize with, what decisions you make that may affect your long term or your near long term, and what path you would choose, whether you're going to do it just based on whim, or now some careful thoughtful planning is going to go into that. Okay, so these kind of decisions, which is the most important decisions of your life that you make just accidentally, just unawakened, you're more likely to be helped with that. And because of that, step by step, everything changes. So consider this as an oil change for your car, an overhaul for your house. Let's say you get it repaired and painted and all that. And a better way of existing as a human being, something that doesn't exclude the mind, the body, your emotions, and your interactions with people. It excludes nothing. It takes every one of those aspects and tries to make it better suited for your existence, removing all the things that were harmful to you. And as you're doing that, getting on a better track towards a inner self-realization. So your religion that you were born into doesn't matter. Whether you follow it or not, after you start following meditation practices, doesn't matter. And even after an awakening, I'm awakened. On the outside, I'm still following Hindu practices that I learned from childhood. I also celebrate Christmas. I also celebrate other festivals. They all become a joyous rejoicing of the divine presence. So that's a little bit about religion, specific religions, and how the Kundalini methodology and these methods, meditation and yogic practices, fit into that. I hope you found this helpful. Please leave comments, like my video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Namaste.